Girl, real talk. This whole "it's a new year, time to reinvent myself" trash is not the vibe for 2024. You can find someone who loves you for you, as you are. You don't need to read a stack of self-help books, only eat sad salads, or start meditating at 5 a.m. to be ready for dating. So yeah, my advice is to download Bumble and find someone who embraces you the way you are right now. Let me know how it goes.
Hey, y'all, guess what time it is? It's the Grolic Saves the World time.
All right, the Grolic saves the world.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting big, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world.
Quit your hemming, quit your hawing. Just rip the Band-Aid right off. It's the Grolic Saves the World. I'm Adam Caden Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is the podcast where we better the world around us by bettering ourselves through passive-aggressive self-help challenges. I know you guys are dying to reference the Band-Aid riff, so get
Well, it just keeps getting caught in the pool filter.
That's where you went
It's
with
just
it.
collecting
Andrew,
dirt.
What do you think?
It's just collecting. It's
just
gross.
collecting dirt.
Get a new
Look
one.
at the
Tear it off. Get a
discolor.
new
Yeah,
one.
you take it off. Look at the discoloration of your skin.
Wyoming tattoo, we call those.
Is that what we call them?
We do
Disgusting.
now. We do now.
What a morning out. It is a beautiful morning here in Denver, Colorado, where we are broadcasting from. Sun coming in. And Adam, I know you and I had talked. We've been chatting behind Andrew's back.
Privately?
Oh,
yeah.
Ben and I have been having just a straight one-on-one text relationship without you, Andrew, or producer
this
Ron at all. This is kind of a
hurts.
private thing that Ben and I have been discussing.
I feel like it's really allowed us to blossom. There have been several topics that have been discussed, but one is based on the last challenge. Adam, do you want to run with it? I can't. I get choked up.
Well, last challenge, as listeners probably remember, is that we did a swim challenge with Olympic athletes where we wore Speedos and then swam with the most athletic, tall, gorgeous men you've ever seen. And we all felt kind of like trolls.
Just visiting gods. Just visiting
gods down from Mount Olympus, kick some dirt in these street urchins' faces. And we felt it.
Yeah.
We all were like, oh boy, compared to those guys, real tub of Play-Doh over here. However, Andrew, I feel like that kind of has been your mantra about yourself for a while. And
Yes.
that's what Ben and I have been talking about.
What can I say? I'm a
You
piece
are
of shit.
Very,
No, you're not a piece of shit, Andrew.
you're
You
not
are
a piece of shit, Andrew. And we're tired of this.
Yes, you have become so critical of your appearance and your body as of late, and I know. Can we sound the earnestness horn?
Whoa, in the first half?
Before
in the
you
first
do,
half?
before you do, before
Wait,
you sound
no.
it,
Wait.
Before
halt
you sound it,
halt the earnestness
before
horn.
you
Wow,
sound it, I
this is
wanted
like
to say-
Crimson Tide, where they're about to turn the key, and it was tense. That was tense.
wait, but wait.
And everyone's right there with you on that reference, Andrew. But Ben was saying you've been so mean to your body and your looks, and before he sounded the earnestness horn, I want to say, and that's our job. And that's our job. And now, producer Ron, you can sound the earnestness horn.
How you burn?
Yep, there it is. There it is. Right off the bat, I think we should say that we know lots of people have issues with this. In fact, we want to say to everybody listening right now, we're going to be talking about body image issues and dysphoria in this episode. So if you're the sort of person who struggles with this sort of thing, we hope you'll join us in today's challenge, but we also totally understand if you want to sit this episode out. That is totally cool.
Yes, absolutely. This type of talk is triggering for you. Just skip ahead to the credits. They're the best credits in the game anyway.
Credits in
It's
the
probably
game.
the only reason why you're here
Exactly.
in the first place.
And for those of you listeners who are 2/3 front loader listeners who do listen to the first part, which you're definitely in the minority.
Yes.
And you don't know what the word dysphoria means, just crack another Coors Light and kick back.
fresh box of whippies for you. Just
Yeah.
start taking them in.
Because we're still going to find a way to make this funny. But just know that if you struggle with body issues, if you think that this may cause any kind of relapse in certain behaviors or feelings, please just go straight to the credits. But earnestly, I want to say, Andrew, it is hard to hear you talk negative about yourself because I think you're a great person, for one. I think you're a handsome person. I think you're a good-looking human being.
And Andrew, the truth is, and Ben and I have been texting about this isn't just off of the swimming challenge. You've been kind of shitty to yourself, I would say, for way predating this challenge. And we all are getting older. We're 40-something men. Our hair is not as thick as it once was. We're probably not as physically as fit as we once were. But I feel like, Andrew, you're kind of meaner to yourself than Ben and I are to ourselves. And as your friend, we thought that's something that you need to improve upon because you don't deserve your harsh words, my dude.
Well, maybe I had it coming. You ever think about that?
Andrew's acting out a Fight Club in his Lakewood cabin. It's a real...
By myself, punching myself.
Yeah.
Honest question, when did this poor self-image thing start for you? Because you seemed fine for a while, but there's been a shift recently, Andrew. You know,
or do you disagree? Are Ben and I coming out of nowhere on this one?
I think I have three things to say about this. Three things. I think the first.
I like that you're talking like this now.
The first aspect, I think, is that I've always been very self-deprecating about myself. Growing up, I had ears that stuck out like perpendicular to my head.
Yes.
When I put headphones
and I
on,
say
my ears
we've
would
made fun
push
of you.
my headphones towards the front of my face. These were, as Adam put them, full-strength ears. The best term
which
ever
was
for them.
funny. Which was very funny.
So even from being a kid, I just learned if you can make fun of yourself before other people will make fun of you, then you've taken it away from them.
Well, and that is the origin story of a lot of comedians, and you're absolutely
that's like
right
humor is that sort of defense mechanism. So I think that's a big part of it. I've just kind of always been that way about myself, just incredibly self-deprecating. But secondly, over the pandemic, I definitely gained quite a bit of weight, probably 20 pounds. I've just naturally sort of maintained one weight. And then over the pandemic and having this day job, they kind of tag teamed to kind of hike 20 pounds on me. And so it's not even like a vanity thing of like, oh, I don't like that I've got this extra weight around my midsection. It's like, it screws with my knee. It screws with my ankle. Like it causes these like very small other little health problems. And so it's just a frustrating thing that I'm kind of battling. But the third thing is, when we were doing the swimming episode, I came back from a break to find Ron and Ben watching a video of me diving in and having a good laugh. So I know it's funny. Sometimes bodies are funny. And I saw you two laughing at my ass diving into the water. So sometimes you bodies are funny. Just laugh.
If you think that had to do with your looks, that had to do with your ineptitude on the dive.
And
that was it.
I refuse to be positive about your abilities in the water. I will never be. It was not about your body. It was about the most epic belly flop I've ever seen in my entire life.
And the way you crumbled off of the diving blocks versus leaping off of them.
Yeah. And so that had nothing to do with it. I actually, when I look at you, I think for somebody who is in their 40s, I think you look terrific. I think you're a handsome guy. I don't see this side of you that you view yourself. And I know for myself, it was a big factor in my divorce was my dislike of myself, my body image issues, my self-image issues have always been a problem for me. And I've struggled with it. So I can see it when somebody is doing it as well.
So have I, and not even to the extent that maybe both of you have, but I think what's good about this challenge is that everyone has. Like, I went out drinking with my friend Gabe, and I was showing him photos from our swimming challenge. And he was like, dude, for 40-something dads, you all look very fit. And I was like, oh, you should hear the hatred that we say about ourselves to our bodies. Because, I mean, so I think that's good about this challenge is that a lot of people will probably look at the Grolix and be like, no, they're a very fit trio. And yet we still are like,
No one would ever.
Producer
Do you
Ron
think
made me
people
laugh.
look at photos of us and they go, "There's a very fit trio"?
I'm just saying, compared to other people, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good.
But here's my problem is comparing ourselves to others. That's a big problem with body positivity. We often think when we are saying negative things about our own bodies that it is just affecting us. If a person overhears that and hears you saying something negative about your body that they perhaps feel that they have a worse issue with, it causes them to view themselves negatively.
Interesting.
If you go, I gained 20 pounds, another person, and you're like, I look gross, another person who may have put on more weight during quarantine with that goes, well, then what am I? And that's ultimately the problem.
You're right. Andrew is a monster.
The earnestness horn, Adam. You were about to end
There's a
it
fucking
up.
statute of limitations on the internet. It's been going the whole
It
time.
does
We don't have
fade
a horn
out.
to turn
You
it
do
off.
have,
I'm
you do
telling
have
you.
to
Fades out.
reapply it. It fades out.
You,
For sure.
so it's like an SPF sunscreen. You have to reapply.
Or you get burned.
We should.
Or you get burned.
What do you think? The earnestness horn blasts and I'm just earnest for an hour? As soon as it stops echoing off the canyons of Rift City, it's done. Earnestness is done.
I think if you're talking negatively to yourself, you're more likely to be grumpy and create a shitty day for yourself and for other people. I truly believe this is very similar. This is gratitudes adjacent, but I really think that this is something we can work on for the next week. And Adam, we were talking, you're about to head to Los Angeles for the week.
Yes, I am.
The land of body positivity.
I'm not going to audition or anything. I'm doing like other stuff. But yeah, Los Angeles, you're always feeling on display in Los Angeles. All the beautiful people are there trying to make it as stars, and you come in there looking like I don't even want to say it because this is a body positivity challenge.
Well, we've already talked about the earnestness horn has extended past its usefulness. So now I will say you are a Denver 8, but you are an LA 4.
Yeah,
and I think you're
that's the math.
realizing
That's
that.
the math.
But
Yeah.
that's why I stick to the valley.
Ooh, he's a Valley
in the
6.
valley, I do it.
You're a Valley 6.
Walking down Ventura Boulevard, everyone's like, okay, this guy could be in a commercial.
Oh, I love that.
Not a
Adam
national,
Van
but, you know,
Nuys.
Not a national, but a regional.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a
Going out
good
to audition
challenge.
for regional California commercials. I'm striking out in Colorado. I want to see if I can get into the regional California commercial market.
And just get naturally discovered like Edward Furlong walking around the Glendale Galleria or something.
Yeah, except 42.
Yeah.
I really, really think that this is a good challenge to do.
Okay, so we've been talking about it for a while, but what is the challenge?
Yeah. So what I did was I looked up on the nationaleatingdisorders.org website. They have a list of 10 things that they tell people to practice to improve body positivity. Appreciate all that your body can do, right? Remind yourself that true beauty is not simply skin deep. Look at yourself as an entire person, the whole package, dick and all, right? Surround yourself with positive.
It's just going to help or hurt. Depends on the day. Depends on the wind.
Surround yourself.
You got to keep it inside your pants, Adam.
Yeah, dude, you can't.
I don't know what I'm looking at until I walk out naked and just
Wind-chapped
feel
dick.
the day. I have to feel each day.
You live on a street with an outlet to know it. There's no reason for people to be driving down there. You know everybody. Dick flapping is not a good idea.
Not in the heat.
Surround yourself with positive people. That's probably not going to happen, but it is a good one.
That's a fun one in theory, right?
I think that means be alone if you're in the Grolix.
Yeah.
Shut down those voices in your head that tell your body is not right or that you're a bad person. Wear clothes that you're comfortable in that make you feel good.
That's such a hard. Shut down those voices in your head that say the
oh,
negative
easy.
things.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
easy.
I forgot
Thanks.
I left the door open. Yeah, let me just
I guess
shut
I'll just jam Q-tips
It
in
doesn't
there.
happen without you trying. Wear clothes that are comfortable. Become a critical viewer of social media and its messaging.
Well, I already got that part down.
And then do something nice for yourself. Use the time and energy that you might have spent worrying about food, calories, and your weight to help other people during this. And last,
Oh, here we go.
and I
We got to
think
help Ben move.
the most important part, help me move out of this apartment. Oh my God,
all
I'm
right.
stuck. No, I'm just kidding. The last one, and my favorite, make a top 10 list of things you like about yourself.
Oh,
so here's what I'm
off.
proposing
And not
for
a humorous
challenge.
one, right? Not a Letterman top 10, like a real one.
No, like a real
I
one.
got a great Letterman top 10 about things I like about my body. It could be very funny.
Well, here's what I'm proposing as a challenge. We take these things, these suggestions on how to improve body positivity. We try to incorporate them over the next week. And then we return for the second half of this episode, and you have to have made a list of 10 things that you love about yourself and your body. And you have to read them here. They have to be earnest. They can't
10
be
things I love about me. 10 things
That's
I love
it.
about
That's the
me. That's the challenge.
Yes,
Yes,
I love
great
it.
movie.
Oh my God, Claire Danes.
R.I.P. Heath. She's not in it.
No, it wasn't Claire Danes. It was no, Julia Stiles. Oh God, I love Julia Stiles. Anyway, I think that this is a great challenge. I want you to know my asshole closed up immediately.
Oh, I thought that was going to be your number
about-
one thing. I thought you were already starting.
My asshole.
I mean, the way Ben talks
Is a
about it,
bronze
it's gotta be.
starfish.
It's gotta be on the list with Ben. I'll be surprised if it isn't.
Yeah, if Ben's asshole doesn't make the list, I'll be very surprised.
It looks like a clean, precise narwhal wound. It is so nice.
That's magical.
Okay.
That is magical.
Holy shit!
No,
I feel like a narwhal wound would just be like a really clean hole. Like I don't.
Yeah,
think
that's
it
right.
It's like
contours or shape.
it's spiraled on the outside,
Yes,
almost like
exactly.
a pastry. Wow.
I don't have the typical wrinkles. I have a series of concentric circles as an
Wow.
asshole.
Wow. Very
Yeah,
What an
it's very
asshole! And I mean that
mesmerizing.
genuinely. What an asshole!
Get a load of the asshole on this guy.
No, my asshole puckered up when I thought about having to write 10 things nice about myself.
Oh yeah, I don't think I could do 3 at the moment.
Andrew, that's why you need this challenge. I hope you don't feel painted into a corner by Ben and I, but I think Ben and I can both use this, and I hope you see that this might be something you could use as well.
I think it'll be a good
By the way,
challenge.
that's the caveat challenge. Adam and I get to body paint you in a corner.
Wow.
At the end
yeah.
of this.
Just
Yeah.
to prove how beautiful I am, I'll get naked and you guys can paint a tuxedo on me.
And we literally painted Andrew into a corner.
No, we paint him into the corner so he can't move. There's just a little corner that's like paint the floor so he can't step on the wet paint, and then we body paint him against the walls of his room.
All right.
So I say, guys, that's the challenge. Body Positivity Week. We will
It's a tough one
take
for me.
these items. We will also post them in the show notes so people could do this for yourself. And what we will do is we will try to incorporate some of these items from the list. And then after the second half, we're going to come back with our own top 10 list of what we love about ourselves and our body and our appearance. And hopefully that will help to see ourselves in a new light. We're also, side challenge, going to paint Andrew into a corner.
Literally.
Canadian tux.
And why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break?
Everybody drink. If you're playing the drinking game, drink. Ben said, why don't we do this?
Listen to some
On your
live
morning
stand-up
commute, take a swig
comedy
of coffee.
from our Grolix live show that happens the last Saturday of every month at the world famous Bug Theater. But also, we just recently did the Grolix live show at the incredibly successful congratulations, Adam, another amazing High Plains Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah. It was so fun.
We did the
Thanks
Grolix.
to producer Ron and Karen Wachtel and all the staff.
It was amazing. A good showing.
Such a
And
good
that
festival.
Grolix show was hot. And it was made hot partially by this comic that we're going to play now. She joined us from Los Angeles. Super funny. Everybody enjoy Felicia Folks. And when we return, we're going to really love
nice to
ourselves.
ourselves.
Three hot
We're gonna love
boys coming through in the
ourselves.
second half. 3 hot boys. Watch out.
Stay tuned.
Oh God, I'm so excited to be outside and just away from my boyfriend. Oh my God, I quarantined with a straight man for 2 years. Any other victims in this room? Any other? Ah! Oh my God, he didn't do anything during the pandemic. It scarred me. He didn't do anything. He farted for 2 years straight. That's all he did. I went back to school. I took a photography. I started knitting again. I went to therapy. I did so much during the pandemic. He did one long fart for 2 fucking years. And eventually I was like, are you gonna fucking do something in this house? Are you gonna do something? I swear to God, this was his whole contribution to the pandemic. He was like, yeah, let's do something together. I was like, okay, what do you wanna do? He was like, let's learn how to 69 standing up. 2 years, that was his whole contribution to the household. And I would be mad, you know, I would be mad, but like, I can hold him now, you know what I'm saying? Like he made me stronger. He's a good man. He's a good man. Don't come from y'all better like my man. Okay, imagine. My boyfriend, he's 140 pounds, don't worry about it. I know a lot of you were worried about my back. He is 140 pounds. He's my goal weight. Is this relatable? I don't know what the fuck's going on in Colorado. Is this relatable? Do your men pick up trees? Is that what this can? Okay, I don't know. I don't know how it is out here. He's not actually my goal weight. He's 140 pounds. He's my doctor's goal weight. Real negative bitch. I know you're not. You're not supposed to talk about them like that because they're essential to society. Okay, whatever. I'm not essential, but doctors are essential. Fine, they're not here tonight. Okay, anyway. No, I do not like my doctor. I do not like my doctor. She's obsessed with me being 140. This negative bitch. She's obsessed. She's obsessed. She's like, you should be 140 pounds. And it's so weird to me because I'm walking around the house looking at my boyfriend. I'm like, all balls? That's what I'm supposed to look like? You know what I'm saying? This fool is bones and balls. That's what a healthy black woman's supposed to look like? Okay. Okay, doc, I don't know. Okay.
Get out of the trenches of tedious tasks like managing order fulfillment and start growing your business with ShipStation. They'll help increase profitability by automating your workflow with their simple, easy-to-use dashboard. With it, you can pretty much do everything you need to quickly and easily. Update order information, print labels, compare rates, optimize shipments, and even set up automatic delivery notifications. And it doesn't matter where you sell. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, ShipStation can integrate pretty much anywhere online. Another great thing about ShipStation? They can help reduce costs with industry-leading discounted rates from some of the biggest mail carriers. You might even be able to get up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. So, make this year your most profitable one yet. Sign up for your free 30-day trial at ShipStation.com and use the code Spotify. That's ShipStation.com with the code Spotify.
Girl, real talk. This whole it's a new year, time to reinvent myself trash is not the vibe for 2024. You can find someone who loves you for you, as you are. You don't need to read a stack of self-help books, only eat sad salads, or start meditating at 5 a.m. to be ready for dating. So yeah, my advice is to download Bumble and find someone who embraces you the way you are right now. Let me know how it goes.
We are back through the sheer magic of P-casting. It is a week later.
Oh, I love
we
that
are
sound.
beautiful in our minds, our bodies, and our souls from the approach that we took to self-care and self-love all week. Am I right, guys? Everyone looks beautiful.
Just a real sheen, a real glow.
Andrew is glowing. He is positively glowing. Yeah.
But he did just get out of the pool.
He did. And why are you digging your own pool? And it's not lined with anything. It's more of a mud hole.
Just one of those
More of a
cold
mud hole.
cold mud hole.
The holler. Yeah. This
Digging
week.
a holler.
Andrew's out back digging in the holler. But he came to for the podcast.
Yeah, hey.
Side
Get out of
note,
the holler, mud boy. Time to cast.
do you know why they're called hollers?
Mm-mm.
I don't know, but I bet it's racist.
No.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
because
dubious.
it's because you could holler from one end of it to the other. That's literally it.
Your
Man.
homespun tales are what make this podcast.
That's what it is. They're called hollers because of that. Everybody listening, you learned
Is
something.
that they measured it? They're like, I didn't hear shit. It ain't no holler. I didn't hear anything.
It's
This is
bigger-
a
it's bigger
proper
than a holler.
expanse. This is
it
a
was
proper.
because they were in valleys, right? They were like
Ben,
they were a holler is
I don't want this from
is
you.
a ravine kind of
I
thing.
don't want this from you.
I'm just saying. You don't love this journey for me, Adam?
No, it's not a good look for
This
you.
docu-series called Appalachian Roots featuring Ben Roy.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's not what this challenge was about. Ben, you did
No.
a sub-challenge learning about hollers. That's not what this is about. This is about
Well,
body
I
positivity.
Scored perfect. So it's funny how you guys like to change the terms of the game.
We've spent the last week trying to be more body positive. And,
Yes.
and Ben sent us some tips about how to approach this challenge. Sent us, guidelines from a couple different sources about ways to be kinder to yourself, to be more positive about your body image. And I read through all those tips and kind of just tried to internalize them, but they weren't something I went to every day being like, all right, this is how we're going to embrace it. I just sort of read them once or twice, tried to process them and moved on. I don't know how you guys did that.
Yeah, likewise, because we had also discussed that we wanted this to be body positivity. We wanted to assemble a top 10 list of things about our body. And a lot of aspects to this list were like, look at your whole self, inside and outside, which it was not part of this challenge. Even though that is a good way of being in real life, that's not necessarily what we were doing.
Well,
here.
it was part of the challenge. It was part of the challenge to go throughout your entire week trying to use tips to be nicer to yourself and nicer about your body image. And part of being nice about your body image, Andrew, is understanding that it isn't just the shapes and suppleness, although you got a nice
sounds and sounds.
Yep. And but it's about seeing yourself as an entire thing. Andrew, stop. Andrew, do not slap your belly. We're still in the challenge.
That is a pink belly. This was a great week for this challenge because if you've been listening to the pod, you know that our previous challenge, we went swimming. We went swimming with Olympians and we had to wear the dinkiest, tiniest Tom Thumb sized Speedos. And then we posted pictures of those out onto social media.
And Andrew, we did post pictures of them, like you said. Could you give our listeners the basic rundown of the sorts of reactions we got?
And it should be quick. There were only two reactions. Every reaction fit neatly into one of two categories. It was either like hubba hubba cartoon wolf tongue unrolling, or I just puked all over my phone. This is disgusting. There was absolutely no middle ground of like, oh, cool, swimming, nice trunks, guys, cool designs. Like all the work Elliot put into those trunks seemed overshadowed by the wildly polarized reactions.
It's like stand-up comedy. Do you want Adam's okay, or do you want I fucking love Adam, or I fucking hate Adam? You want to be a polarizing figure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've always said that about my body. Love it or hate it.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground with this. I said it when I was strutting out of the locker room.
Andrew,
love it or leave it.
Yeah. I think you forgot that there were actually 3 reactions, and that was kind of you. Number 3 was, oh my God, where are their dicks? So don't forget that.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, that was another
that was also
reaction
in there. So it was a perfect week to try to tackle this, since so many of you started to tackle our bodies.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your takes on our bodies, and now maybe we should give you ours.
Yeah. But real quick, let's start. Did you both, either of you, do anything this week off those lists, or things to try to be kinder to yourself? Not just looking at the list, but did you do anything that you tried to keep something in your mind to be kinder to yourself?
You know, there was one thing on the list that stuck with me in particular, and it was about being kinder to others, giving compliments to others to sort of put positivity out into the world. And I went to a wedding this weekend that was expertly officiated by producer Ron. Guys, he crushed it.
I mean, if you're looking for someone, hire him.
Yeah,
I wasn't even there, but I know he does a good job.
No, Ron, it was a great wedding, and a lot of our friends, and everyone was dressed up to the nines. It was a formal wedding. And so I was just trying to compliment people, but also not be like on their looks per se, but just like, oh, I love that outfit, or like your hair looks great, like a specific kind of compliment that wasn't just like, you look awesome. I was, trying to get more specific with it, and that was great. That was just an easy way to put good vibes out into the air, and people inevitably said, "Hey, you too," which felt a little begrudging. But regardless, it wasn't about that. It was about me putting that out into the air.
What a welcome change for you, too, because you are notorious at weddings for your caboose appraisal. People do not want to hear it. They do
Ugo
not.
Alert! Ugo alert!
Ding, 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 ding,
what
ding,
side
ding,
are you
ding.
on, bride or groom? Because I'm going on the other side.
That's so. Andrew, what about you? Did you? Okay, well, we know the answer.
I had a true hell week. It was a brutal week, unrelated to this challenge, just with like stress things. And I definitely noticed that the more stressed I am, the less kind of bandwidth I have for body positivity, thinking about I'm busy thinking about my immediate living situation, working future, less time for vibing out on
new
my
age
body.
positivity.
Yes, exactly. But I did make the top 10 list, if that's what you were asking for. So let's get to it. Let's start with Ben, who brought this challenge to us. I want to hear your 10.
That is a good question. If you're in the, doldrums, in the emotional holler, so to speak.
Do you know what a holler is? I just learned this earlier today.
Oh, what is it?
It is, they measure it because you can hear it on the other side, like of a ravine.
Folksy.
Like they would yell, and you would hear it like echo.
That makes
Isn't that cool?
sense.
I know.
Told you
I
guys
love it.
That makes perfect sense.
I think I saw that on, I don't know, like
Nat
Disney
Geo
Plus
or
or something. Anyway.
Did you find that like any sort of even, woo-woo positivity helped you a little bit, or are you just like, get out of here? I'm in a cynical place. I'm not pulling this in.
Honestly, this week was so brutal. Yeah, there are definitely times where I'm able to, I'm going to get positive or anything, but this week was definitely a conspiracy caliber shitstorm of bad things all happening at once that... Yeah, it was tough. Honestly, this week I take it as a win that I didn't go buy a handle of Bullet Bourbon and drink it in my front yard. So it was actually a pretty big win for positivity that I didn't do that.
That's great.
That's no joke. Ben, how was your approach? What was your macro approach this week?
I actually did some of the stuff. I went back to the gym. I started going, I've been just doing jujitsu, but I haven't been going to the gym, and jujitsu is just a different workout. And so I've been going to the gym, just trying to work on some things that I want to work on, like for mental health and to hopefully improve my general opinion of my body.
Okay.
I got a massage. I treated my body to something that was nice to do for yourself. And I too tried to give compliments to people, to try to say like, hey, I really like that shirt. That shirt is legit, or whatever, or like that kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I tried to like give compliments.
Are you talking about little Stevie with all his illegitimate shirts? Because I'm so sick of Stevie's
I don't
fucking
like.
shirts.
Where does he get them? It's like he's buying the. They're clearly stolen.
They're stolen. They're like guys that set up in parking lots and sell like Avalanche Championship T-shirts in the fucking parking lot of a Kmart. It's not legit. It's not legit.
I also started going to the gym again as well, because the number one top thing on that list, the first one, was appreciate all that your body can do. And I was trying to work on just not how well I did at something or like how much I could lift or whatever, because I'm not very strong like that. I get down on myself about that. But I just tried to remind myself, just be happy you can do this. Just be happy that your body allows you to do it even at a certain level. So I tried to do that.
I Peloton all the time, and one of my Peloton life coach, Alex Toussaint, he always says, you woke up this morning, you got out of bed this morning. That's like a way better than a lot of people can do. Yep. So and it's like very simple, but he always like, you got out of bed this morning. Like you can walk. You have the ability to walk. You have the ability to get on this bike.
Yeah,
that's a gift.
I think it is. I will
Alex
say
on the
though,
pod.
I would love to have Alex Toussaint on the pod.
Let's get him on.
He would be amazing.
We'll do the entire pod on stationary bikes.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this top 10 list was pretty interesting to try to write 10 things I love about my body.
We should get to the list. It was hard for me too. Like,
it was difficult.
It was difficult. But in these sort of lists that Ben sent around, it was trying to find 10 things you like about yourself generally. And I think all of us have things that we like about ourselves that are not physical, that would be easy to do. We all got good senses of humor. I think we're all kind people.
Love myself.
I would have an easy time with that list. But we specifically said...
It would have been so easy to just look at my own personality and be like, God, I love that.
It would.
God, I love that, guys. I look in the mirror, I say, who's that? Okay. Is that the love of my goddamn life right there? Is that the guy that I've spent 3/4 of my life trying to destroy?
And then you see your shirt, you're like, that shirt is legit, dude.
So there's one. There's one already. Your legit shirt.
I don't think there's anybody who. I wrote a song in an old band. The chorus was "You can't hate me like I hate myself."
Oh hell yeah!
I think
Dishwalla?
writing it about
that was a B-side?
that was a deep B-sider of Dishwalla.
Fair enough. I should not speak for the group ever. But
Yeah.
I would have an easier time
I
talking
would
about
also have an
personality
easier
traits
time.
that I like about
Yes,
myself.
because you're arrogant, Adam. All right, now
That's one thing that I like. That's one of them.
You like that you're arrogant about
I
yourself?
love that I'm arrogant.
Oh God.
I love my ability to spin negatives into positives. Two things.
All right, that's not what we're doing. That's not we're going through our top 10 physical list. We're going to the shallow end of the pool. We're appraising the goods. We're not popping the hood and
We're
seeing the
ankle
engine.
deep in a pool.
We want to see the chassis. Put it on the rotating
for the listener
platform.
that
Ben, you're going first.
The listener that we gave the trigger warning to, we did this purely physically because we decided that's what we needed. Probably the better approach is to do an all-encompassing picture of 10 things you like about yourself. We needed pure physical bullshit because we're shallow, like Andrew said.
I might have negative self-image issues, but when I look at myself as a whole package, I can definitely be like, oh, I like this about myself. I like that. I can
But
I can mortar the bricks together, make a little hut to squat
that's
in
what I'm saying.
emotionally.
But
I'm okay.
it was not your personality that you referred to as a bag of oatmeal being poured into a pool.
Oh, I didn't even
So-
say it was a bag. I just said it was oatmeal.
Oatmeal, that's right. It wasn't even encased in anything. It was
There wasn't even a shape to it.
free floating oatmeal. So
Amorphous oatmeal
Yes.
in the air.
So we're focusing on trying to write 10 things and being very brutally honest about
And they
it.
should be positive, not cynical, not sarcastic.
And we should probably fucking blast the earnestness horn as we vulnerably share the things we like about ourselves.
That's true.
If we were to attack each other off of these, that would not be good.
Give us an aggressive
crying.
earnestness.
Give us the
horn.
foghorn. Guide us
Yeah.
through the fog of cruel friendships.
That was one thing we did do this week, though. The texts to each other were very kind.
Very kind.
And we complimented. Andrew was at a wedding and he looked very handsome. He was very dashing in his suit. And so we all complimented him on that. And we all said nice things to each other.
And part of my body positivity was sharing that photo with you guys, which I normally would not have done.
There was a suspicious level of kindness in the group text this week. I'll put it that way.
But it was nice. It was
I
refreshing.
told Ben he was handsome on Instagram, and it felt weird, and I don't think I'd probably ever do it
because
again.
you DM'd him.
Yeah, I did. It was a private one, and I was like, what a handsome guy.
But all right. Here's my top 10 things I like about my body, and this is embarrassing. Fuck.
No,
Yeah,
don't be
I'm so
embarrassed.
excited.
That we've
Do it.
sounded the earnestness horn. You're in a safe place. And if
all
Adam
had to do it
snipes
too.
from his tower, we're dragging him down.
I'm
we're
not.
dragging
I'm
him
not
out.
sniping. I'm not sniping.
Okay. These are in no particular order because if I had tried to rank them, my nose would have started bleeding and I would have been here for 3 weeks. So this is just in no particular order. Number one, I have nice eyebrows. Like, I think they're reasonably full.
Take off your glasses right now.
And they're proportioned nicely. I think they're decent eyebrows. Look.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like,
Do they keep the sweat out? Do they serve their evolutionary function?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arch one for us. Let's see their emotional conveyance.
Yeah, he's got
Okay.
range
That's
with
kind of
his
a
eyebrows.
rock level eyebrow. I didn't know you were hiding that. All right.
Yeah.
We could have used that in those who can't. We wouldn't have got canceled.
Okay, number two, I have nice legs. I think they are slender, but they're contoured nicely.
This is so hard.
Andrew immediately started laughing. He covered his mouth. Andrew covered his mouth immediately as
I'm
if he was going to
biting
barf with
my
laughter.
fist
And
like
now he's
I'm
biting
getting
his
a leg
knuckle
amputated.
because
Keep going. I'm enjoying hearing your list.
but they're contoured nicely. I like my legs. I think they're nice legs. This one is, I actually like my stretch marks and my leftover skin from my stomach because I was a heavier dude. And I like it because it's something that it's imperfection. And I have a little bit of a pot belly. I don't think that will ever go away, but I've learned to kind of like it. It's a kind of a thing. No matter how much I work out, I still have it. And it's this also a reminder that I had a different body type previously. And I use it for comedy like a fucking master.
I was just going to say, I really like that because I remember you struggling with that as you worked out and got sober. And you worked out like a motherfucker. And you were like, I want to be jacked. I want to have a six pack. And then you kind of realize like, I think I'm just this is like left over from this past life.
It's really hard when you were heavy before, when you had more pounds than you did before. It definitely is there, but I'm learning to not hate it as much.
And it's a great gag on stage. You do lots of photos now where you're just like
picking my belly button and people laugh at it.
It's hilarious.
And I have a fairly nice set of shoulders, number 4. They look good in a tank. And they're symmetrical and they feel solid. And Andrew is about to start bleeding from his face.
No, I'm absolutely.
You're doing great.
I'm wrapped.
Great.
RAPT wrapped.
I like my feet. Number 5. Not so much aesthetically, but structurally. Adam, I know you've struggled with issues with your feet from playing soccer and how painful.
I just got diagnosed plantar fasciitis. I'm fucked.
Yeah. And I know that it's very painful. I'm thankful that I have not had to deal with that. And I know people who have dealt with foot pain, and apparently it's the worst. And so I'm cool with that. Number 6, I like my dick. I'm not going to lie to you. I like my penis. Okay.
Okay.
And now, while not the biggest
questions, keep going,
or thickest, it's given me some years of good service.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that. It's average.
Like a dumb soldier that doesn't ask questions.
It does not. He signed on the dotted line. And that's
now enjoying the veterans discount.
Yeah. It spends most of its weekends at a VFW and playing cards with other veterans. Now, listen, my dick is average. I've talked about it on stage. It's an average size cock, but I'm proud of it. It's fine, and it's worked, and at no point has any woman ever been, it's too big, no. Or they've never been like, it's too small, no. It's just.
You've got a true Goldilocks dick.
Yeah, it's just right.
It's a nice porridge. Yeah, my dick is a nice porridge.
Your dick is a nice porridge.
I like my height. I feel very average in that department, but I'm tall enough to reach everything I need around the house.
Light bulbs were a struggle for a while, and then I remembered ladders.
I'm tall enough to reach everything around the house.
I can't.
But I'm never
tall enough to reach everything around the house.
Holy shit.
But I'm not, holy shit. But I'm not so tall that I've ever been described as imposing. So I like that. I have an average height. I'm not a threatening height, but I can get the top cupboards, and I like that. I like that about me. I have a fairly strong grip. I like grip strength. I have some pretty good...
I've experienced this firsthand years ago from Drunk Bin. Almost broke every bone in my hand.
Read, if you do and you are fortunate enough to live into your later years, there is a strong correlation between good grip strength and longer life. And the reason being that you're less likely to have a nasty fall if you can catch yourself. So I like my grip strength. Number 9, I like the way my scrotum sits.
Okay.
And it's a decent scrotum. It's not overly long. Okay.
Pick your nose while you tell us, though, because I want the full. I want to pretend
nose,
like I'm on the bus right
itch.
Now. Thank you.
It's a decent ball bag. It's not too big, not too saggy.
Again, Goldilocks balls, and we love it.
And last, I'm happy that I have at 43. I still have a decent amount of hair on my head. And my dad, my brother, and my whole side of my dad's family all grayed very early. And I've managed to keep some natural color, but I'm also love that I'm getting these gray wings on the side.
Great temples,
and they
hot across the board.
Yeah, I like that. And so that was my number 10. So
it's a good list, dude.
Good
That's
work.
a good list.
And I appreciate you all doing like your best to be supportive of me during that. Adam, we should have you go next.
Yeah, Andrew should close it out. I'll go next.
Okay.
It was hard for me to get to 10. but I figured it. I think I got creative, as you'll see as the list goes on. 10 things I love about me. First one I put out there, and again, these are in no particular order, just things I hit upon. I like my quads on my legs. Played
You
a lot
have
of
nice
soccer.
quads. You have nice quads, and I noticed them in that swimming photo. A nice little ledge from
Thanks,
the muscle.
but you know, I played a lot of soccer my whole life. I run still. I still play, and I think it's made my quads pretty strong. I'm proud of the quads.
Okay.
Number 2, I like the way my forearms look. Similarly, from baseball, I remember my dad would say, you got to have strong forearms if you want to hit home runs. So I would like clench balls as a kid to try to like strengthen my forearms and just have, I think that might be a good grip. I don't know, but I see my forearms in photos and I'm like, nice forearms, bud. You're doing all right.
Yeah, you do have a nice set of forearms. That's nice. I like that one.
I
Yep.
think helping my image of my forearms, and this is probably all vanity, is some veins. I like the way the veins look on my arms. They show up.
Yeah, okay.
And every time I've ever given blood, every person has complimented my veins. They're just like, oh, boom, right there. Thank you. Let's do it. I got good blood giving veins. So
Good.
I appreciate my veins.
Yep.
Also, and this is where I'm starting to get creative, I've got good hand-eye coordination.
Ooh.
I like that I can catch and throw pretty well.
You do. You got a good form.
And again, this is all from playing sports, but like that's a skill that I admire and worked on, and now I think I'm solid at it, and I'm like throw the ball with my sons, and I'm teaching them that, and I like having good hand-eye.
Okay.
This is another thing. It sounds so vain, but I've noticed this from Malcolm. I love his eyes. He's got like the best eyes, and everyone's like, he's got your eyes. It's like you guys look identical. And so I'm like, oh, I guess through my son, I realized I really like my eyes. They have like
It's
a
funny
nice.
you say that. That's Malcolm's most striking quality to me is his eyes. Very expressive. So you
They're
should
kind of
be happy.
almond shaped and dark and beautiful. I really love the kid's eyes. So when people are like, oh, well, they're yours, it makes me feel proud of my eyes as well.
Yeah.
And my grandmother always complimented me on this, but she always said you got nice eyelashes. She said you've got feminine eyelashes, long feminine eyelashes.
Isn't it funny? We all want like feminine eyelashes, and I just think they're like full, right? Like, 'cause
I guess.
I like
not
my
to go full
eyelashes.
Ben, but I read actually that men traditionally have longer eyelashes because biologically they were outside needing protection from dust and shit. So men often have luscious lashes. They're just not accentuating them the same way.
Well, we should start, and I'm going to start off of this challenge. I'm going to start using more makeup on my lashes.
Yeah.
Sticking around in the eye category, I like, especially as I age, my vision is still very strong. I think I attribute this to bird watching maybe, but I don't need glasses every time I go to the doctor. They're like, your vision's outstanding. I can still see really, really well.
That's great.
Proud of that one. Now it's starting to get weird because I was getting desperate. I can stick my tongue up my nose, and I love that. I do it all the time.
Don't just make a bold claim.
Ben, can you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You guys
Yeah,
can pick
he
your
can do it.
nose
He's
with your own
good.
tongue. Okay.
It's-
Both Ben and Adam are sticking their tongue up their nose. And here Ben was wasting his time using his finger earlier. He's got the perfect
I didn't know Ben
appendage right
could
here.
do that. Ben, we have so much in common.
A close.
We really do.
I mean, forget sucking your own D. Look at these guys. The tongue. The tongue.
I'll tell you what, it delights
string.
children when you're like, hey, can you do this? They're like, they think it's hilarious.
Yep.
Love that I can stick my tongue out my nose.
They do look like
Another
baby
thing I
giraffes.
love about my body is I can crack almost anything on my body. It's not just knuckles, knees, ankles, hips. I think it's my body's falling apart from sports, my neck, my back. I can crack so much shit.
Is it deeply enjoyable
I
to
love
you?
it. And I like doing it on other people. I like to grab people's fingers like Katie and crack her knuckles, and she's like, stop. And I just I like to crack knuckles. I'm an amateur.
She's going to have serious arthritis later on because of your fetish.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm the guy at a party who's like, let me crack your back, dude. Let me pick you up and crack your back.
I
I've
love
never
it.
cracked my back once in all this time. You've been harboring.
Well, I don't feel close to you.
I guess not. Wow.
All right. Moving on. Adam.
Wow.
And this is the most obscure one. It is kind of a strange, but I feel like I can play through a lot of pain. I have serious back problems. I have chronic migraine headaches. And now that I have kids, I often don't have a lot of sleep, or I can do well for long periods with no food. My blood sugar doesn't crash. I feel like if I ask a lot of my body, it will always deliver for me. And I feel like that's a really, like, I never think about that, but I value that.
That's a great one.
That's my list. That's the last one.
That was great.
Nice work.
The cracking one is so bizarre to me. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Shit.
He's just cracking.
I can crack all 10 toes.
Wow.
I never asked to crack anything on me. I would take a back cracking on set or something if we'd been there.
Well, we should do it sometime. We'll do it sometime.
Crack party. Well, it sounds different.
Well, good list.
So there it is. There's the top 10 things I love about me.
I like it. That was a good list.
Thanks, dudes.
Unfortunately, we've reached the most somber moment in the show. A moment where struggle becomes reality. And Andrew.
Ron, can we get some funeral music for the top 10 things I like about my body? Thank you.
Dearly beloved.
Yeah, just like an organ tone in the background. Thanks. Perfect.
Andrew.
Number 1, face. Number 2, beard. Number 3, hair.
Stop. No.
Don't do that. Andrew, we want you to really try.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta explain it.
Your two daddies went first and showed you how it's done. Now you get on the zip line of self-love and you go down.
The zip line of self-love. Hell
rip
yeah.
Through the forest.
Ooh, this is worth the $42.
Yeah.
All right. In no particular order. Number 1, my face. I think my face is pretty anatomically symmetrical, I guess, or just right asymmetrically.
Hard to
I don't
hear
know.
you speak with such gushing admiration.
No, that's great.
Down.
We're not earnestness.
Yep, sorry.
That's great. Especially because we've talked about, ear reduction.
I like my
surgery
face.
in
It
your
has
life.
everything it's supposed to.
I think it was probably a struggle for him to say my face
It has
is anatomically
the two
correct.
eyes. There's a hole food goes in. There's
stop
two.
it, Ben.
Okay. All right, Andrew.
Like I'm giving a book report in front of class that I hate. I learned about my face and
Andrew,
how it's
you're a
asymmetrically
handsome-
fine.
You're
Okay.
a handsome guy, and you have a very expressive face, which I love. Andrew, I'm going to say nice things about yours because this is about you. That's what made you the most beloved character of the three of us on Those Who Can't, is that your face was so expressive. And it's
I think it could be my number 3, but we'll get to it. Oh, no, it's my number 2.
I know
Up
it
next.
It's what?
My facial hair. This
you have
mug was
great
growing a
facial.
full mustache in 7th grade. The girls loved it. I've been able to grow a beard or a mustache almost on command. I could almost just sit here on this pod.
Does that mean you were the buy booze for friends guy?
No, because I was incredibly lame, but could grow a great mustache.
Got it.
I still had the body. I still had the body of a 13-year-old, but just a fine mustache. Yeah, I've always been able to grow a nice beard, grow a nice mustache. Adam even complimented me on it once. We were driving. Adam said I don't remember how I put it. He's like, that mustache could build a log cabin by itself or something. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Thanks, Adam. That compliment has always stuck with me.
Your facial hair is amazing. As someone who doesn't grow in full like yours, I very much envy yours.
So, yeah, I've always enjoyed that. It's one of those things, you can kind of take for granted. You just assume everyone can grow a beard, but not everybody can. Not everybody can. Number 3, my haircut. I feel like I've figured out the haircut that fits my hair well. I cut my own hair. I know how to do it. I give myself my own haircuts.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
And I'm glad that I finally figured out what is the right haircut for me, because I've sampled a few, and with kind of a long Norwegian head like this, you got to have the right haircut, I think. So this is the best
Andrew,
one I found.
that's kind of insulting yourself.
It's a long Norwegian face. It's just the way it is. I'm calling it like I see it. Like, it's not you can't say it's insulting if it's just the way it is, right?
I don't think you have a long head, but okay, we'll go with that. All right, number what? Next
Number 4. My chest. I've got a nice chest. I think I know how I developed this chest. When I was in middle school, I worked as the janitor in my middle school, and we had this crazy
unreal stuff that comes out on this pod casually. Casually.
How the fuck have we not known that? He just throws it out that he was.
There's just no secret.
Yeah, it's not but a secret, but it's just buried in this urine-smelling toy chest of your childhood memories, and you're like, "Oh yeah, look what I had in here. I was the janitor. I was the janitor of my middle school.
Who could grow
phase.
a stash? So a middle school kid with a stash as the janitor,
the world's tiniest janitor. Yeah, it was like my parents were janitors to help offset the tuition, and I helped them, and then instantly I became the janitor, and they were like, "You're actually doing everything," but. To the point, there was this special vacuum that you would use to vacuum the halls. It was huge and it was wide and it was not self-propelled. It was basically like a tackling sled.
I know the vacuum you're talking
about. And I would, my middle school ass would push and pull that giant heavy-ass vacuum all up and down those halls.
Oh my God.
That's the only thing I could think of in my life.
We gotta write a show. Like we'll pitch it. It's the opposite of Doogie Howser.
Yeah, it's
a gifted janitor,
boy janitor.
I was a janitor before I could legally work. I say cockily to someone.
Cockily.
So yeah, I've always had.
But back to your body point, I've
always had a nice chest, and that's the only thing that kind of makes sense why I have.
You have nice little nipples too. Like they're not overbearing.
Wow, I never knew you dialed it in.
I remember there was a scene where Faribault had to go through the metal detector in his underwear, and you look very strong. You're like holding your clothes folded in your arms. Your chest looks great. I rember that.
And I
remember that photo.
I think
Ben
some
was
people
looking at my nipples. Yeah, but you're right. They're kind of the right size. They're not too tiny where it's like, he was almost born without them, and they're not
Tic Tac nips.
They're not huge.
Yep. No,
sure.
They're nice.
I'll add that. That's a bonus one. Thanks,
nippies.
Ben. I wouldn't have even looked. There.
I'd love to write your list. I would love to write your list. Andrew.
Okay.
Continue on.
Sounds like you've already started. Number 5. Tight caboose. There's not a lot back there. There's not a lot of butt back there. But what there is,
decent little,
you could bounce a quarter off it. Come over and see.
Okay. I mean, a lifetime of biking for this kid.
A lot of bicycling. I always take the stairs. If I can take the stairs, I do take the stairs, and that
pushes off his heels.
Thank you.
A real heel pusher. I like it.
In Andrew's world, the building's always on fire. He's not getting in the elevator.
Exactly. No, always using the stairs.
But it is a nice little splitter. I've said that before. Nice little log splitter on you.
And I've heard him say it before.
Yeah. Well, I'll be behind her. I'm like, look at the lumbacata on that one. And he's like, stop it. And I'm like, no, it's a nice ass. All right, continue on.
And he's pinching it,
Yep.
Number 6. This is one that was part of my difficult week. I was grateful for my mobility. I've been running ever since the swimming challenge. I really got kind of motivated to try to get into better shape. And instead of swimming more, I was like, I'm going to resume running. It's cooled off. I was running every other day. It was great. And that was one of the things I immediately added to my list. I was like, I'm so thankful to have my mobility. Not everyone has theirs, and to be able to run even in poor shape, just being able to, run at all, run even one lap around the lake. I'm glad I could do that.
Yeah.
Very early on in this challenge, I slipped on some laundry, tucking my daughter in for bed, and absolutely shredded out the inside of my bad knee. I hurt it really bad. I tried to run anyway the next day, tried to take a page out of Adam's book, played through some pain, couldn't even really walk by the end of the lap around the lake, just kind of hobbled back to my car. It's been absolutely fucked up since. I've just kind of been limping around, hoping that it's going to kind of like recede. So that was I guess a bittersweet one, where it started out and I was like, yeah, it's on my list. And then it really fucked up my week, and it made me pretty upset because I was running. But it makes
you appreciate it.
Yes, it definitely makes you appreciate it, because now I can't do it.
Hey,
exactly.
Well, Adam plays through pain, but also if something like that happens, get it checked out before you do worse stuff. The only reason you have this shitty job you hate is for this insurance,
It's
I
true.
believe. So
I got
use
great
it.
insurance. I can go get.
And also, the reason why you appreciate that you can do it right now is because it will be stolen from all of us at some point. The ability to do
Thank
these
you,
things.
Grim
So
Spectre of
appreciate it
Death.
while you can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not you, though. You got a strong grip, so you'll be at hospice just laughing at all of us as
not
we're
me.
collapsed at the bottom of stairs.
Man, this is kind of.
Oh, you'll be beside me with those fucking Popeye forearms.
You
Don't
two,
act
just,
like you're
just
not
a couple
gonna
of
get in.
monkeys on the monkey bars while I'm just pretzeled
Ben
up on
and I
the floor.
are the alphas at the nursing home.
Oh, that's not true, Andrew. We'll visit your grave.
You guys just come in on the monkey bars.
2031, let's say.
Just two
Wow, he's only got
orangutans
8
coming
more
to visit my
years.
grave. Okay, number seven. I like this is kind of like Ben stretch marks. Embracing these things. I like my wrinkles, like in my face, my crow's feet. I know that culturally wrinkles are shunned on. There's like creams and injections you can get. I like my wrinkles, and I think wrinkles on a face are a sign of a face that is like lived and expressed itself. And
I love that.
Seen a little sun,
Yep.
done a little laughing, had a little life. So I attribute it
I
to
like that.
4 years of
I
being
think
a
you
bike
look
messenger,
distinguished.
not wearing sunscreen even one day. But whatever, however you got your wrinkles. I like my wrinkles, and I've learned to appreciate them instead of being like, oh no, like I want to. I like wrinkles on everyone too. It's not just me. When I see someone smile and they have crow's feet or whatnot, I think it's cool, and I wish that culturally we kind of embrace those instead of suggested that people inject them out of their face. So
No, I like them. I think you look
I
distinguished.
like wrinkles. Thanks. I like your temples. I wish I had gray in my temples. It'd be great. Let's trade. Number 8.
All right.
I like my
Okay.
shoulders.
Shoulder boys.
Good shoulders.
Shoulder boys are in the house.
New name for the pod. Shoulder boys coming in.
No, just you two.
You have good
Oh,
shoulders.
that's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
You have
Ben
nice
and I have a few
shoulders.
that overlap here. But yeah, they're not exemplary, but kind of like my chest. They're just kind of default, decent.
I think you have nice shoulders. That photo, you can really see you got a nice pair of shoulders up there, and I like that.
So
I like that.
I like my shoulders. Number 9, my eyes. I like the color of my eyes.
You have blue
Like a
eyes, right?
I don't know. You're looking at them.
Yeah.
like but there it's
well,
a misty sea. Your eyes are a misty sea.
It's a misty sea blue. Get lost in these in a dangerous way. Oh, you've just
Yeah.
run aground.
Adam
You've just
only
run
knows
aground
that
and your
because-
boat is destroyed.
You're capsizing.
Yes.
Adam only knows it's a misty sea blue because we spent an afternoon at Home Depot looking at swatches,
Of paint.
trying
And
to
it
match
was
it to the
Orbital
color of your
eyes. It was right in all of the light blues. Orbital eyes.
We didn't buy a thing.
We
We,
didn't.
just tried to find the perfect paint to match your
We
eyes.
were at Noodles and Co. and we were saying,
We
what?
started talking about your eyes, the color. Couldn't agree, but it was misty sea.
Misty
And he
sea.
won. He got it right
Yeah.
because he was like, I know those eyes like the back of my own
Like
hand. Yeah.
the waiting room of a dentist office. Oh, it's mysterious.
That borders on
was,
insulting
and
yourself.
I'll
So you
take
watch
the
yourself.
penalty.
You watch yourself because you don't want to end up in the rift.
It was
bridge, and
so
you
it was
know
tough
that.
making 10. It was a lot of analysis. Top 3 I could have done if it was top 3. 10 was tough. I finally came up with my number 10. It's very incredibly similar to Ben. My dick works according to factory specifications. It is. I don't have
That's
any
it.
problems with it.
That's all anybody's
According
asking
to
for.
every ad that I receive, dicks are not working these days. Dicks are not functioning according to factory specs. And unfortunately, there's no recall on them. But mine still working like a top. I got a Kenmore dick from the 80s, I guess.
Nice.
It's still running. That's a joke only for
Yeah,
people who have Kenmore
one
watchers.
of those cathode ray tube dicks, not one of these plasma dicks that break
yeah,
down
exactly.
easy.
Plasma
Look, I want to
dicks.
point out, just because it wasn't on my list, I also like my dick.
We
okay?
and we believe
Oh,
you,
no,
Adam.
It does the job.
Adam.
Never had complaints.
Adam, like
I'm a
it's
fan.
too late. No, it wasn't on your list.
Yeah,
Adam.
didn't
I
make
didn't
the
think-
10.
It's okay if
It's
your
not
dick is
weird,
number 11.
and
I have
like it.
ads that I'm going to forward to you.
Okay.
Yes.
It does a thing where the bottom will get soft
Oh,
while
here we
the
go.
top remains hard. quite frequently.
And
it's called the magician's scarf, and it is real.
Other than that, which I feel is so normal, I like my dick.
But we've already told you that we're not going to edit out you talking about this anymore.
So that's my 10. It was an interesting challenge because I think that, there's some that you could just kind of phone in with some platitudes, but when you have to really put the magnifying glass on you and say 10 things you like about yourself, it's not easy. And I'd encourage anyone listening to this pod to sit down and give yourself a bit of time to come up with 10 things you love about yourself.
Andrew, you're kind of already doing it, but that leads to the question. 1, would you do this again? And 2, do you think this makes the world a better place? Would you recommend it to other people? I mean, what do you both think?
I think, it's kind of the old cliche, like you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself, that type of thing. So I do think this is very healthy to be like, here's some things that I like about myself. I think it might be kind of a serial killer that does this all the time. It's just 10 more. Just
a notebook of things.
But it is nice to take off our cynical hats and be like, I like these things about me, and to be vulnerable with each other and be like, hear what you guys like about you. It's nice to kind of wade into this territory together. I feel like sitting alone doing this doesn't do a lot for you, but telling people is really like embracing it and having to be like, I do like these things, and here they are. So I think it's good for the world, and I think it's good to do as an exercise when you're maybe feeling low or something like that.
Yeah, Andrew, what do you think?
I agree. I think that there's definitely a fine line between good-natured self-deprecation and too much negativity about your body. I think obviously taking the more holistic approach of inside and outside and your entire body well-being is the best way, but don't be so rough on yourself. And I think that there's so many things that culturally are seen as like imperfections or things to be erased or overcome. And I like that I've come to embrace those things in myself, like I know Ben has and other people do as well. And I think that that's good. I think that'd be good for the world if we could more of that, more of like embracing the wrinkles and bumps and odds and ends, and less striving for a magazine cover level of perfection that you're never going to attain.
You aren't. I mean, I can tell anybody out there, I agree. Even if you start some sort of journey involving regular everyday fitness, trying to lose some weight or whatnot, the problem is that even magazines that are supposed to be supportive show people with these six-pack abs and everything. There has to be a reasonable expectation of what your body is going to look like, especially if you were like myself, where you carried extra weight for a period of time. You are going to have extra skin, and that's okay. Like, it's more about feeling mentally healthy, feeling like physically you can accomplish a lot of the things that you and goals you have in your life, things like that. I think that that's been a big thing for me.
And I think it's really important to point out that even those models, especially those models, feel this way too. This is a very human thing to sort of not like ways that you look. And we got to try to do whatever we can to get ourselves out of that.
Yeah, I have these four they look like claw marks down on the right side of my stomach. And I hated them for the longest time. And you both know I've worked out hard, really hard. I mean, I would go and do this CrossFit thing, never could get it. And I just came to the realization that's just the way I'm designed. And I'm happy I even get the opportunity, and I'm privileged enough to be able to do the things that I can. And I feel better mentally when I work out. And that's the reason why that I do it.
Well, good challenge. Thanks for putting me on the spot. Why don't we do this?
That's Ben's line.
I'm taking it over.
No, but my line before that should be, if you're listening, if you have thoughts or anything you want to share, if you want to contribute, please, we'd love to hear it. Certainly share only what you feel comfortable with. Obviously, this is a sensitive subject. And once again, we don't want to destabilize you or make you feel negative about yourself. This was purely personal and self-reflective. No way. I want to make it clear, judging that if we're proud of something on ourselves that you feel like you don't have, that doesn't mean you are any lesser as a human being. That's just, we're just trying to appreciate things within ourselves. But if you have thoughts, things you want to share, criticisms of what we said, anything, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear it.
Criticisms of what we said, because we literally listed things that we liked about ourselves. So
no. Okay. I mean criticisms of the way we did it, or if you felt like
go ahead and
we could
roast
be better
us.
about
Go
something.
ahead and
None
roast
of our
us.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? We're gonna cut away to some live stand-up comedy from our live Grolic show that happens live at the end of the month, last Saturday of every month, live at the world famous Bug Theater. This is a clip from the High Plains Comedy Festival version of the Grolics, which happened live. And you're going to love this comedian, as do we. Please enjoy a clip from Caitlin Palufo. And when we come back, the best credits in the game.
So stick around.
I am actually in love with a man, despite this outfit. Isn't that exciting? It goes either way, but I get dick. Watch out. Okay, no, I'll grab it. I'll rip it from your body. No, I'm kidding. You can keep it. You look scared. All right. No, I feel good. I do have a boyfriend. I love him. I hope he's the one, because I've truly given up. I've stopped trying. I've just learned something, okay? I'm in my 30s, and I've learned that men do not care how much we weigh, ladies. They always want to see us naked. Yeah, it just varies on how much. It's either hell yeah or sure. Why the hell not? Either way, you're in, so I'm just going to deep fry everything, okay? I mean, I have been put in the friend zone before. Obviously, I look like I can build you a porch, which is fine because I've built 2 porches. So what are you gonna do? All right, I'm a useful woman. Okay, yeah, that's my body type. Useful. Okay. Some women are thin, some are curvy. I'm a sound effect. That's what I am. I like it. I never understood why men like tiny little women. You know, I mean, sure, they look beautiful, but what the hell are they gonna do on moving day? Okay. What are they gonna, I got the throw pillows. No. Gentlemen, you should want someone like me, yeah. Someone who can strap a fridge to her back, all right? Yeah, those small girls, they get boyfriends. I earn boyfriends, okay? Yeah, it's just like a different vibe.
And we are back. Oh, wow. What an episode. Welcome to the credits. Best credits in the biz. If you skip the episode due to the content warning, welcome to the episode.
Yeah,
we're
Rhonda
so glad.
And Cincy, Edgar over in Naples, Florida. Welcome back. We're glad to have you back on board. Thanks for
Best
coming in for
third
the credits.
act and credits in the game. You heard it here first and every episode. Wow.
Ben's not here. He, I guess he responded kind of negatively to all this talk about his body, and he ran out crying. He's working on himself, he said, and we don't know when he'll be back.
he went to go buy a full-length mirror off Craigslist, and that's the last I heard from him, and it has been 3.5 days, so not sure where he went. He just wants to look at himself nude, full body, just rubbing his hands over himself. Gross.
Yeah, Andrew, that was really gross.
Sorry. Well, the challenge is over, so now we can be mean about each other's bodies again, and it feels
God,
so
I got
good.
so much to say about Ben's oddly shaped body. We'll save it for the next episode. We have too much business to attend to.
Let's get into it.
Namely, is plugs. Can you give us the plug music, Andrew?
Plugs.
The listener never sees the little dance that you do. Andrew
have
Dunn's
to.
this pit bull energy, and he's sashaying around the room, and it gets me excited to plug things. So I will just go ahead and
And
lead
I'm
the
wearing
charge.
my salmon-colored suit. I mean, you have to.
Yeah, in those very garish shoes. I will be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've never been there in my entire life as a civilian, but certainly not as a comedian. And I'll be performing at Bottle Rocket Social Club on Friday, October 7th. So if you know anybody, I'm going to say this. If you know anybody in all of Pennsylvania, they should attend this show. From the farthest, I don't know what would be geographically furthest from Pittsburgh.
Philly,
There's
probably?
no reason for you not to drive to Pittsburgh to
If
see
you live
my
in
show.
Philly, drive over to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And see
If you live in Philly, drive to Pittsburgh and see me at the Bottle Rocket Social Club Friday, October 7th.
I've also never been to Pittsburgh, so I'm curious to hear all about it. Tell me about it when you come back.
I'll regale you with tales when I come back.
Hell yeah. I'd like to plug this month's Goreliks. We've got the Grolics. It's the last Saturday of this month. We are bringing in one of our favorite comedians. I've known this guy forever. He always crushes it. We're bringing in Jared Logan. He's amazing. We also have special guest Anthony Crawford, another crusher from right here in Denver. So you can check out the link in the show notes if you want to get tickets. I anticipate they're going to go like the proverbial hot cakes now that it's chilly out.
Andrew, I'd like to get right to the PBS pledge. For the price of 2 cups of coffee a month, you could support the Grawlix on Patreon. Think about it. Put the money aside that you were going to have a fancy latte, perhaps pumpkin spice, 'tis the season. Just forego 2 of them and put that money into supporting the Grawlix Saves the World.
And if you're getting pumpkin spice lattes, that's supporting us at the top tier of Patreon at the bin level. So thank you. Thank you for foregoing your 2 $8 coffee drinks. But thank you. That was a very seasonal pledge. And we have so much bonus stuff on there. Producer Ron made a goddamn documentary of our swimming episode. If you enjoyed the swimming episode, you can watch a video about it. Multiple videos. If you want to see what
motivated this body positivity challenge through our bodies for 25 minutes, go ahead and take this video
saddle up to the body bar and start doing shots. It's it's a lot of body.
I'll just keep plugging. We got ad-free episodes. You get a terrifying welcome video from Ben. We have brand new stickers that are very cool, as well as exclusive merch. In addition to that swimming video, we have another Boy Crazy coming down the pipe, and it's a live Boy Crazy that we did at the High Plains Comedy Festival.
Oh, this was a very funny one. One of my favorites. Should we tell them what it is or not? Should we give them
Fast
a little
and the Furious. We ranked the
FNFU
hunks of the Fast and the Furious universe, and God Almighty, it was such a funny episode.
So many hunks. It was difficult, but we did it. We crowned King Hunk of the FNFU. If you enjoy the pod, you could leave us a review. That's super helpful. If you're listening to it on Spotify, it's super easy to just click that little review button and give us a review of your choosing. You can share the pod wherever you like.
Not of your choosing, a positive review.
Yeah, it has to be 5. It has to be 5 stars, or we pay Spotify to remove
off
it.
Right now, you're not our fan. We don't like you.
But if I thought that was inferred. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly.
Throw it our way.
5-star glowing reviews.
Review it however you want to review it. Fuck you, Andrew. This is not how you rise in the podcast rankings.
You tell them that they get it. They get it, okay? It helps to just sharing it around, you know? RT us if we fucking tweet about the episode. Boom. So helpful.
Nice save after almost tanking it through that review part. And if you don't already, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things at Grawlix Comedy. Share with us your tricks about staying body positive, because Ben could really use them.
Huge thanks to our producer. Huge thanks to our producer, official bikini inspector Ron Doyle. It isn't what you think. It is not what you think. This is a legit.
It's a legitimate job.
Legitimate position.
A lot of these bikinis, turns out, are made through slave labor and child slave labor.
Sweatshops, yes.
And sweatshops. And so Ron goes and raids those facilities, and he frees these child workers from a life of labor. But unfortunately, it is still a bikini inspector.
He kicks in the door. He's got his badge right there in his hand. Nobody move! Guns. Bikini inspection! Everybody, stay exactly where you are.
Girls, you're free. You're free to go. You no longer have to live this life of forced labor. Bikini inspector Ron Doyle is here to set you free.
It's a hard job, and we appreciate his service. Thank you, Ron. I salute you. I'm giving you a crisp military salute for your service. Thanks to Mike Henderson for your help recording at the live show, especially when Ron's on a raid over.
I'll tell you that. Nothing wrong with Mike
in Taiwan. No, definitely not. Our theme music, as always, is by the Perfect 10 Charlie Continental. Wow. 10 in LA, 10 in New York, 10 in Denver, Charlie Continental.
Oh, he's a 10 in Milan, that Charlie Continental. Andrew, we should talk about next episode's challenge.
We should, because Ben's not here, so we can do whatever we want.
Well, and actually, I'm going to take the reins on that, because I've been getting a little flack from you and Ben about a subject I'm pretty passionate about.
Jesus?
So in kind of keeping with this body positivity challenge, I'll just say, Andrew, you wear nothing, but you wear it so well.
Nudity challenge?
Tied up and twisted the way I'd like to be for you, for me. I'll leave it right there.
That's a weird way to talk. Pretty cryptic. Okay. It sounds like we're getting nude, tying each other up. I'll do a little ropes play. Little Japanese ropes.
Yeah, we're going to do some rope frolicking with the boys and the bikini inspector. You're invited too, bud.
All right. Well, then check out the next episode. And I guess, fuck it. Play us out, Charlie.
Play us out, Charlie.